What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Havoc Sports Podcast, episode 32.
Tyrann Mathieu is number 32. What do you think about him?
He is currently a bum now.
Yeah, he got his career wasted at New Orleans Saints. So, shout out Tyrann Mathieu. But yeah, episode 32. That's what it gave. That's just the first person that came to my mind.
And this episode has zero to do about Tyrann Mathieu.
Nothing to do with Tyrann Mathieu. They're still his team's still looking for a coach. But this is what the episode's about. Is just a couple coaching hires.
Yeah, coach updates. Good ones. Bad ones.
Both of our teams. Both of our teams got a coach, and I think both of us are pretty happy about the results of our head coach results. Let's first touch on a couple of the small ones, or not small ones, but not our teams. Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator of the Lions, goes to the New York Jets. He played there, drafted I think number 9 overall. So former player going there, hasn't worked out usually most of the time. But
no,
maybe it'll be different.
Bad. I mean, it's not a terrible hire, but I think Robert Saleh was definitely perfectly fine there. And I don't know if this just came out today or a couple days ago, but he just re-signed with the 49ers to be their DC again.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Nice.
So he's back with the Niners. I think he was perfectly fine. I don't think he was the problem at all.
No.
He got rid of him, and it seemed to only get worse there.
Right.
So a lot to fix, a lot of questions for the new head coach. Is Rodgers going to be there? Is Devontae Adams going to be there?
Right.
And your organization as a whole has just been trash for I don't know how long.
As a defensive coordinator, your defense is kind of loaded.
Yeah, the defense is pretty good.
Maybe he will create a defensive monster in the Jets, kind of back in the, I think it was Revis days?
Yeah.
Revis Island? Maybe back in those days, maybe create that defense.
Sam Darnold back?
No. But we can move on. Aaron Glenn to the Jets. Pete Carroll goes to the Raiders. That's the recent news for today.
I mean,
Pete Carroll's a winner, but at the same time,
that team
he should have ran the ball.
I think he was okay passing. Depends who you ask.
Yeah. But anyways, I think the Raiders, they have a lot of maintenance to do on their roster.
Yeah, you got a lot. Don't have to worry about tight end.
No tight end.
Don't touch that.
Defensive end, one defensive end's solid.
Good wide receiver too in Jacoby.
Yep. Rather than that,
need a one.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
But Pete Carroll to the Raiders. Hopefully he can do his magic there, just like Sean Payton did with Denver. So, moving on to our teams.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We'll start with mine. Head coach, new hire Mike Vrabel comes in. When we were talking about predictions of coaches on the hot seat, I was an advocate of Jerod Mayo needs to go in year one. I thought he lacked confidence. Doesn't have anything to do with him being a nice person or not.
Right.
I think Jerod Mayo is a very nice person, but he just didn't have that backbone that I think it takes for successful coaches in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I said Mike Vrabel, who used to be a Patriot, is a perfect fit for New England.
And the thing is it's not even like Jerod Mayo is getting any interviews at all for anything.
No. Now, he used to be a DC. I think he could be like a DC.
I don't know. Your defense is even skeptical.
But that offense is, I don't know. But Mike Vrabel, I thought, I told you it had to be either Ben Johnson or it had to be Mike Vrabel. I thought Mike Vrabel was the better fit for the Patriots.
Yeah.
They get Mike Vrabel.
Right.
Then I text you and said Josh McDaniels would be the greatest OC to go into this scheme right now. Lo and behold, Vrabel brings on Josh McDaniels as the new OC.
I think it's a good move, and McDaniels already kind of came out and said he's not going to make May run the Brady offense. You know what I mean? He's going to build the offense around May, and I think that's a good idea for him.
Yeah, people forget, when Josh McDaniels last year at New England with Mac Jones, our offense was ranked 12th with Mac Jones. So I think giving Drake May someone like Josh McDaniels, and Josh McDaniels gets a true chance to explore. We've known he's probably one of, if not the greatest offensive coordinator of all time. I mean, he's been phenomenal. So if you just get a couple pieces around Drake May, I'm not going to say that Patriots are going to make the jump to the playoffs in the first year by any means, but you want to talk about like a 7-9 win season, I could definitely see that being possible if you just get a couple add-ons and with the coaching staff behind them.
You take the best talent possible that's not a quarterback.
Yeah, no. You got to go offense, not line, unless you trade back. Though I am open to Abdul Carter, which, I mean, down the road we'll do a mock draft. We'll get into it. But I would like Patriots to go offense. Most likely that would require a trade down for what's there.
Yeah. I think having Mike Vrabel as your head coach, he's going to be very involved on who's going to be drafted. So,
and I mean, he's
going to evaluate your roster very well.
And he's an honest dude. He was like, with Derrick Henry, we ran the ball like 40 times and we won football games. We want to win games. We're going to do what we have to do to win. We're not going to beat around the bush and lose close ones. He's going to do whatever he has to win. The same with Josh McDaniels. He wants to do what he can to win. Our new DC, Terrell Williams from the Lions. He was their D-line coach. Yeah. He has past history with Vrabel. He said he wants a strong defense. And if you're not going to be a strong defender, get out. That's what we need. We need to go, not necessarily back to the Patriot way, but we need to go back to that backbone strength that 100%. Isn't there anymore.
Yeah. And I think hiring someone from a Dan Campbell, and obviously now head coach Aaron Glenn's defense, he's already kind of learned a lot kind of from the Lions organization. So I think just to have him, he's, not really a defensive coordinator yet, but he gets to prove himself. I think he's worked with amazing talent. And, defensive line was injured for the Detroit Lions last year, and they still, had held their own at times, but, left up 45 points against the Commanders.
Yeah, and you look at, what's one of New England's worst defensive spots right now. Pretty easily their defensive line.
Yeah.
So having a guy that understands the edge rush ability and the importance of edge rushing, I think it's going to be huge for New England. You got a young star like Keon White. If Christian Barmore hopefully comes back. Jabril Peppers is never coming back as he is guilty of cocaine possession, but he was kind of mid anyways. I hope he gets help. But I think there is a chance for that defense to turn around. Gonzo's going to do his thing. You need to re-sign some players if you're not going to go corner.
Maybe attract some players from free agency.
Yeah, because a couple of our corners are going to free agency.
Who's that?
So Jonathan Jones, who's our CB2.
Is he good?
He's decent. I mean, as a CB2, yeah, I'd say he's pretty good. So if you're not going to re-sign him, then you might have to go corner in the draft, which would kind of be a bad scenario. He's a vet. You could sign him on probably like a 2-year deal.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah,
you can play him at corner, and you get a little bit of wide receiver help when you need it.
Yeah, I just like a true set wide receiver. It's nothing against Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter's a great talent. He can play both sides. I get it. As a Patriots fan, I'm not looking for someone who plays a couple plays of offense and then plays corner.
Right.
Which is most likely what he's going to do. I want a wide receiver. There's rumors we're trying to trade for DK. We're also now favored the most favorable team for A.J. Brown. So if we can get a true one to help Drake May, holy crap, help Drake May.
Yeah, you guys got to help your quarterback
then we could be in a decent spot.
Yeah. I think the Patriots' future is going to definitely looking brighter now at this point.
Yeah, especially with that staff.
Yeah.
Way better.
But moving on to the Bears.
Yep. Another prediction we called.
Yep, another prediction.
Another happy customer.
Yes, another happy fan, customer, whatever you call it. Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is in Chicago. It's great news for our offense that struggled for 20 years since Jay Cutler left, whenever that was.
Yeah.
But, he hasn't hired any surrounding staff yet. That's going to be
pretty recent hire.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be pretty big
time
for him.
Yeah,
he's not a head coach yet. He's never been a head coach.
Nope.
So having a DC that calls the plays on defense, and having somebody that can give you some time management skills while you're calling offense and stuff like that.
I feel like that works out pretty well, though. Like a young coach coming in the same time with a young quarterback. Like I think of like Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love,
Mike McDaniel or whatever, or Mike McDaniel, the Miami Dolphins quarterback.
And so I feel like that's a pretty good connection. I mean, it gives them both a chance to grow, and I think he'll definitely open up the offense a lot more for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot more, instead of just flashes, you're going to see a lot more consistency from him this year.
Right. And I think we're rumored to get Dennis Allen as our DC from his old Saints head coach. And from what I've heard, he's kind of a Matt Eberflus. He was really good at calling defense, but, man, he was bad at being a head coach.
Yeah.
So, I'll take that. At this point, I'd even hire Matt Eberflus at DC again. He was a nasty.
He can do defense.
I still can't believe he didn't get a job at DC. There was what did he have, 3 interviews?
Yeah.
And he didn't get a single one. So must have been something. But Ben Johnson's a great hire. Ryan Poles did the right thing. Got to get offensive line.
He finally listened.
Yeah, and you got to get offensive line. They've already acknowledged that. Got to go get Trey Smith at right guard. You got to go attack offensive line in the draft. I'm honestly open. If someone takes Will Campbell before 10, trade back. There's so many there's a lot of linemen that can go in top 15.
And you got Banks from Texas. He'll go around that area. So, you got a couple options. A lot of people have been viewing Will Campbell as a tackle. Now, obviously, things can change when they check the arm length. The arm length is going to factor almost everything for him. Is he going to be a guard? Is he going to be a tackle? I think if Will Campbell comes in and he's measured as a guard, he will go outside the top 10. If not at 10 to the Bears. A lot of people have... You're not going to like this. I've seen a couple mock drafts with Ashton Jeanty going to Chicago.
And I don't like that at all. But the thing is if we don't take offensive line, we got to take D-line.
Yeah.
We got to.
There's too many good ones.
Yeah,
the edge and D.
There's no way that with the way we performed last year that you look at our trenches and say, I'm not going to take another first-round pick on this.
Honestly, if you had to choose between offensive line and D-line and Mason Graham's still there at 10 somehow, I wouldn't even...
That's what I'm saying. If
you
Will
don't even
Campbell's
need 5
gone,
seconds. Just write it in.
Him or James Pierce Jr., that guy from Tennessee. He's nasty.
There's so many...
Mykal Walker.
There's so many edges this year.
Obviously the best one's Abdul Carter.
Yeah, Abdul Carter's just... I'd say Abdul Carter and then Mason Graham would probably rank as... my D-line top 2 for sure. Those two kind of separate the pack, but that doesn't necessarily mean these other guys below are bad. They're definitely developmental, but they have shown flashes of superstardom.
Yeah, and I think, but with the D-line being so many of them, that's what brings me to the point where, if Ryan Poles wants to do his magic and trade back a little bit, that'd be a good idea. But the Bears hiring Ben Johnson is going to be great, but I think it really depends on who his DC is. We are a defensive team. We've always been a defensive team. If we don't have a good DC, this team will be terrible. We have to have a good defense, and we have to have a good defensive coordinator because our head coach doesn't know much about defense.
Yeah.
So it's basically like having 2 head coaches, in my opinion. You have your defensive head coach and your offensive head coach, and this time your offense is your head coach. But
he likes to beat the Packers.
Yeah, he likes to beat the Packers. He likes and he's very competitive. That's what we like to see, and very well spoken. I think he will hold people accountable to where the point where if something goes wrong in a game and we lose, he'll in the conference he will be like, yeah, this is why we lost. This is the reason why, and it'll be accounted for. You know what I mean? It's not going to be beaten around the bush. Oh yeah, we got to just execute better.
That's exactly what I think Vrabel's going to be too.
Right, and so I think for both of us, we're definitely on a bright future ahead. on the right path for a franchise team that could definitely be in the playoffs here soon.
Yeah.
But that's our coaching episode for today. I think this episode's kind of just an emergency episode. We didn't think it was going to be this quick of a hire, to be honest.
No, it just kind of sprung. It sprung real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say kind of right after.
A lot of it did.
Yeah, right after. We thought it was going to be after the season.
Yeah, we were going to do playoffs, but
yeah.
When you got breaking news, you got breaking news. So.
Right. But we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed our opinion on what's going on with our teams and our opinion on, the coaching hires around the league. We enjoy every second of this, and we hope you guys enjoy it as well as we do. Thank you guys for the support. Talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.